This is being documented. Tommy Robinson has been forced to furiously hit back against online trolls who are mocking him over his gay love YouTube ad fiasco and just made the whole thing even funnier. But then it was pointed out by people in the comments section, you do realize, Mr. Tommy Robinson, fake name Robinson, that YouTube ads are shown to you based on your search history.
Yeah.
So if you're getting a lot of gay relationship ads,
he must be looking for them.
You must be. What are you looking for?
Rainbow Robinson. What did you say?
Yeah,
I think this is going to be the biggest story that we cover over the next month or so, and it's going to get quite exciting because it's, as you say, Reform UK and the right are already pitting this as Muslims / Greens versus the far right. Quite frankly, every left party, including your party, Workers' Party, they're problematic in some way. But the fact is that your party and the Workers' Party have no chance of winning this. So I think that both of those should not stand a candidate. They shouldn't split the left vote, because if the left vote is split, then the Greens will have no chance whatsoever. So logically, I think the Workers' Party, your party, shouldn't stand a candidate.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome back to another episode of Muslims Uncensored with me, Robert Carter, and Roshan Saleh. Now, Roshan, I've got quite a story this week, quite a story indeed.
Okay.
I mean, perhaps we should have seen this coming. Red flags were there, I think, but we now appear to have discovered what's really going on behind the far right scene, behind Tommy Robinson in particular.
Yeah.
He's a closet homosexual. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Well, it appears.
Is that confirmed?
Well, he's denying it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, my goodness, there's a lot of evidence there.
Right.
I think people are putting together a pretty comprehensive and almost complete jigsaw puzzle here. And I mean, it explains a lot. It explains a lot.
Okay, explain
and,
why. Just justify yourself.
This is not one of my conspiracy theories. This is being documented. Tommy Robinson has been forced to furiously hit back against online trolls who are mocking him over his gay love YouTube ad fiasco and just made the whole thing even funnier. So basically, Roshan, we're a little bit late to this. This was a week, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago that this first happened. Tommy Robinson tweeted angrily condemning YouTube ads promoting same-gender relationship, dating websites and that type of thing. You can see here, apologies for the imagery here. I know obviously our audience is a bit bashful of such things and quite conservative, but let's give this topic justice because I think it exposes a lot. Tommy Robinson went on an angry rant saying, what on earth are all these ads doing? I'm being exposed to all of this rubbish. But then it was pointed out by people in the comments section, you do realize, Mr. Tommy Robinson, fake name Robinson, that YouTube ads are shown to you based on your search history.
Yeah.
So if you're getting a lot of gay relationship ads,
he must be looking for them.
You must be. What are you looking for?
Rainbow Robinson. What did you say?
It appears as if we're dealing with a closet rainbow activist, Rainbow Robinson, as he's been described by some.
Trans Tommy.
Trans Tommy. That might be a good one. He then, after a massive roasting effort online by everyone who looked at this and thought it was brilliant and hilarious and basically caught himself out, he quietly deleted the tweet, then tried to shrug it off. He engaged with some of the jokes and tried to make out it was funny. But then after days and days of being roasted, after appearing to expose himself, he was forced to respond. And
What's he said?
I think we can bring up his statement here. He says, it's time to address the trolls. It's time to address the trolls. I love living in their heads rent-free. I get sent all sorts of things to post from many people, many different backgrounds and orientations, things like this gay love advert on YouTube with no age limit. So rather than address the fact YouTube is actually advertising no age limit gay sex that minors have access to, they would sooner post about whatever appears to be on my feed or whatever people send to me to distract and troll. I don't give an F. Trolls always troll. So predictable. You are degenerate and evil. I will continue exposing your evil LGBT plus degeneracy. Just so you all know, I get adverts on YouTube to donate to the building of mosques. I get adverts asking me to donate to Gaza and to Gazans in Palestine. Do you think I would want to donate
Can I
or
just stop you
build a
there?
mosque?
Can I just stop you there?
Yeah, go on. Em.
Yeah, I mean, the reason why he's getting those adverts about donating to mosques is because obviously he's looking for a lot of stuff on Islam or the Middle East.
Yeah.
Like I do that as well, and I get Israel adverts popping up because.
Yeah.
So, but what I don't get on my social media feeds,
What no one
is
gets.
gay love adverts
No one
because
gets
I'm not looking for that kind of stuff. Unlike Rainbow Robinson Trans Tommy.
Part of my research means that I have to go on to homosexual. I don't even.
Well, he's
want
a journalist, isn't he? Obviously, you know, in the course of his
Oh, yeah.
journalistic work,
For the sake
he
of
must be
research.
looking for a bit of gay love, you know,
Look, I mean-
like you do.
I mean, it's crazy. It's not even like. It's not even straight dating ads that
Yeah.
he's getting same gender ads. He's getting queer
What else
ads.
does he say at the bottom?
Oh
Let's
my-
finish off his statement.
It's a long statement. I mean, he's really rattled by this, clearly. I
Yeah.
mean, he's been totally... He appears to have totally exposed himself here. And he says, trolls are... I mean, he's cussing everyone out. He's calling everyone
He's gone on the
R
offensive.
word. He says, have fun with your posts, you little kiddies. And... Oh, he goes mad. He starts calling everyone kiddie fiddling left-wingers. And
I mean,
he is rattled.
no wonder he likes going to
He's
prison.
rattled. Yeah, he does like to visit prison
Especially
every
the
now and
showers.
then. He likes to get it off his chest, I suppose.
But I don't know. I mean, I assume that he's pro-gay, right? I've seen him posting in the past, like he's quite easy about, you know, homosexuality, and he's pro-gay. So what's the issue here, Tommy? Just come out, Rainbow
Yeah.
Robinson. Just come out, admit it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why he's hiding it if that's the case.
Maybe
I mean,
it's awkward with his children and his wife or his
a
ex-wife.
lot of gay people have been married with kids.
Yeah,
I mean, Elton John was
but usually
gay.
as a cover, right? Usually
Elton
as a
John
cover.
was married, right?
He was, but I don't think he had kids. No, that was a cover. Is it a
Okay.
cover with Rainbow Robinson, do you reckon? Or,
Yeah, I think so. I think he's very conflicted. He's an angry person. He does lash out at the gay community, but not in a sense like we're religious, so we
Yeah.
defend our values. We
Yeah.
don't lash out at anyone.
Yeah.
We just defend our values. But he's a bit like, oh, we got to get the rainbows. We got to get this. We got to get that. He's protesting about it. He hates Muslims a lot, and Islam is obviously a religion which is, you know, it makes clear it's a red line
but
issue.
he's a Christian, right? It doesn't fit
He's
well
a
with
fake
Christianity.
Christian. He's hijacked it. You know, he's doing it obviously for Israel and probably for money. You know, he's a grifter. I just think that he's an angry guy, maybe a closet gay.
Yeah.
That's what everyone's saying now. And, you know, I mean, maybe he fancied a Muslim guy when he was younger and he got rejected, so now he hates Islam.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Douglas Murray, I mean, he's at least honest. He's
He's an open gay,
practicing
yes.
gay.
Yeah, he's practicing
Is
gay.
that, is that what you
Yes.
can say? He's
Yes.
a practicing homosexual. And, you know, he obviously hates Islam, and I think that's a big part of it. What was that presenter's name? Philip Schofield.
Yes.
He doesn't like Islam much.
Yeah.
Maybe he had to go at Shakil Afzal, didn't he? Over the
Did he?
the LGBT relationship education in schools, and then we find out actually he is
Yeah.
on the pink
Well,
team.
he's saying a lot of homosexuals basically don't like Islam because Islam prohibits
Yeah,
homosexual
he had
acts.
a right go
Yeah.
at Shakil on TV about that issue, the LGBT protest issue in Birmingham, and then we find out he's on the pink team. So I just think maybe that's what it is. Maybe Tommy Robinson is on the pink team,
Yeah.
but he can't acknowledge
can't
it. you know.
openly say
He
it.
can't openly say it, you know, and he's
I think
he's
he
still
should.
contesting with it. He's probably having internal, you know, he's fighting with
So the
himself
leader
internally,
of
do you know
the
what I mean?
far right in Britain, the chief crusader, the chief patriot of this country, is a little gay. Basically, he's a gay. He's a gay.
It might be, yeah, it might
All right.
be.
Well, he should be
I mean,
honest
there's a
with
lot of
his
evidence.
followers. I'm sure they'll be fine with it.
The Christian ones maybe not, but they're not real Christians, so maybe they will be. Maybe they will be. I mean, you
Tommy,
know,
come on, man. Just you. I mean, you are who you are.
Yeah, I
and
mean-
you can't deny who you are.
the way this unfolded was hilarious, and it just made him look even more criminal. It was even more incriminating to begin with. I mean, he's already a criminal, we know that, but this looked very incriminating. Well, Tommy Robinson, it's okay. Be honest with yourself. I'm sure your people will forgive you. And do you know what? It explains a lot. It explains a lot. I think we now understand where the hate comes from. You know, it's like internal hate and confusion projected outwards.
Yeah.
So he's blaming the world for his internal demons or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, there you go, brothers and sisters. Tell us what you think in the comments. Any good names for old, what are we calling him?
Rainbow Robinson,
Rainbow
Trans Tommy.
Robinson,
Tommy.
transgender Tommy.
Yeah.
Those are good ones. But yeah, tell us what you think in
Any
the
other
comment section below.
suggestions?
Tell us what you think
All
in the
right.
comment section below. Well, there's another big story developing in the north. There's trouble a-brewing up north.
Oh,
And,
yes.
it's the
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, Gorton and Denton by-election.
We like a
which
good
is
by-election, don't we, here at Five Pillars?
one with Muslims in it.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
like to go there and sway things and
Yes.
plant our flag and, commandeer the whole
And
thing.
we've had quite a lot of success in the past, haven't we?
Yeah.
Not, obviously, we don't win every time, but I think we have had an effect on...
I feel like a kingmaker. I feel like a kingmaker.
That sounds a bit arrogant, but I think... Look,
feel like it.
You might feel like a kingmaker. I feel like we are trying to organize the community for our mutual benefit,
Yeah.
our collective benefit.
Yeah. People are voting.
But if you want to be arrogant and call yourself a kingmaker, then fine.
I feel like it's going that way. I feel like I'm going to be a power holder in the future, inshallah, if Allah's willing, with Allah's permission.
No.
But yeah, let's see.
May Allah
But anyway,
take the arrogance from your heart, Robert.
yeah, let's see how this goes. Well, I've got to speak honestly. That's a key part.
No, I think in being serious, what we're trying to do in our own little way is, just organize the community. We listen to what local people are saying. We go up there ourselves. We take the lie of the land. We consider what's for the benefit of the Muslims in the
absolutely.
community, and then we make our decision and our recommendation. And you can take it or leave it.
Absolutely. So anyway, a key by-election. Now, the reason this is so interesting and so much hype is surrounding it is because it's kind of a precursor to what may happen during the next general election. It's an impoverished constituency in the north. A sizable Muslim community lives there, about 30%.
Yes.
And then there's obviously a lot of white Brits who are swinging to the right. Reform UK and right-wing political forces are trying to exploit that. And it looks as if it's going to be very divisive, very sectarian possibly, and that you've got right-wing versus what they've described as a green Islamic alliance on the left-hand side of things. That's how it's being described. So it's going to get a bit ugly, I think. It's going to get very divisive, but a lot is at stake. So reform, right-wing forces in Britain now are very hostile to immigration. They're scapegoating Muslims like you wouldn't believe. And I think that there's a very real threat. Reform UK pose a very real, dangerous threat to Muslims particularly, but minorities in this country at large. And this by-election seems to be a prime example of how this is going to play out in an election. Muslims are going to be defending themselves, but there's a vote split on the left. So there's a lot to digest here. A bit complicated, but the Greens are being pitted as the main players on the left.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the biggest story that we cover over the next month or so. And it's going to get quite exciting because it's, as you say, Reform UK and the right are already pitting this as Muslims / Greens versus the far right. Now, there are only three parties, I think, that can win. I think Reform are probably the favourites. It's a 70% white constituency. We know what the opinion polls say nationally about, the way things are going. Labour have a 14,000 majority, which is huge, but I personally think that, obviously we've had 1 year of disaster under Labour, and I think that's going to play out at these opinion polls. But still, they have a chance of winning. And I think the third party that has a chance of winning are the Greens. Local polling, the most recent polling suggests that Reform is on something like 26% in the constituency, Labour 24% and Greens 22%. So I think those are the only three parties with a chance of winning. I don't think there's going to be an independent Muslim candidate at this late stage that can realistically go from zero to winning the seat. So I think the logical conclusion for us as Muslims, if we are going to play a part in the outcome, and I think we will, is to back the Greens. Now, obviously, we all know that the Greens aren't natural allies with practicing Muslims, but at the same time, they have some good policy positions with regard to Palestine, with regard to Islamophobia, many other things that we would agree with, some things like LGBT, and I think they're even members of NATO, or they believe in NATO, all that kind of stuff. There are certain things we don't believe in, and quite frankly, every left party, including your party, Workers' Party, they're problematic in some way. But the fact is that your party and the Workers' Party have no chance of winning this. So I think that both of those should not stand a candidate. They shouldn't split the left vote, because if the left vote is split, then the Greens will have no chance whatsoever. So logically, I think the Workers' Party, your party, shouldn't stand a candidate. To give the Greens the best chance, I think the priority for Muslims here is to try to defeat genocidal Labour and racist Islamophobic Reform. That should be our priority.
A lot to digest. very quickly, Labour have appeared to have made their position even more dire because Andy Burnham, the current mayor of Manchester, is very popular across the city.
Yeah, he probably would have won.
It was believed, according to polling, that he would give Labour the best chance of winning. They've blocked him because of internal divisions. He's seen as a political rival to Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer's obviously a bit of a dictator. He didn't want him in, so they're not going with Burnham. So that causes it a serious problem for Labour. So they're undermined. However, next door, they have Afzal Khan, a Muslim Labour MP, loyal to the party through and through, loyal to Labour above anything else, even, other issues which we would like him to be more loyal to. He obviously has a lot of influence in the Muslim community in this area, so he's going to be lobbying on behalf of Labour still. However, the Greens, they still haven't picked a candidate. There's speculation that they might put a Muslim in there. Mothin Ali, the deputy leader of the party, still is not an MP. He's eyeing up the seat. He's from Yorkshire. Would he do well in Manchester? Can someone who doesn't come from the community, even a Muslim, go there and galvanise local support enough to win it? Who knows? Zach Polanski himself, people said he could win it if he ran. He's not going to run himself. It's too risky of a seat. So there's a lot going on. And the Muslim vote, I think, is potentially facing a split within its own little constituency, its electorate, but then the left wing is going to be split as well. This all plays into Reform UK's benefit. So let's see how that plays out. But I think, there needs to be one candidate who has wide appeal, and I think it will depend highly on who the Greens pick. If they pick right, it'll strengthen them a lot.
I really hope the Greens pick a candidate, because obviously the Muslim Vote organisation has, which carries quite a lot of sway and does a lot of work on the ground. They've endorsed the Greens already. 5 pillars where we're veering towards supporting the Greens. It seems the logical thing to do. However, the Greens haven't chosen their candidate yet. And if they choose someone that is difficult for us to get behind, the Muslim community in general, then it's going to be problematic, quite frankly. So it's not a done deal. I just hope the Greens don't pick some, full-time LGBT trans activist as their candidate, because quite frankly, that's going to be a difficult candidate for Muslims to galvanize around. So I think they have to be pragmatic as well. I'm not telling them what to do, but I'm just explaining the reality to them, right? If you pick the wrong candidate, then, the Muslim community isn't gonna support you. Simple as that. And you're making life more difficult for yourself. So Greens, be pragmatic in whoever you choose. I'm not saying that should be a Muslim or a non-Muslim, just whoever it is, let it not be a divisive character.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Greens have the best chance, it looks like, but they have to be smart. They have to be pragmatic. If Mothin Ali runs, I think that would be great. I mean, I know a little bit of him. We've covered his story. He embodies everything that I think the Muslim community is facing right now. He appears to be Muslim. He is a practicing Muslim.
Of course he is.
And he's coming under attack from the Israel lobby. He's come under attack from far-right forces. He's been smeared as an extremist and a rioter, when in fact he's a bloody local hero in his area. He really would be a great MP. And a win for Mothin, either in this seat or somewhere else, getting him into Westminster would be so infuriating for the establishment, for the right wing, for Reform UK, for all the bad people out there who are trying to sow division in our society and trying to, create an environment where Muslims are attacked or deported or harmed in some way. So, I would like to see Mothin run, and I'd like to see him win somewhere. And that would inspire even me to get up there and maybe not campaign, but to do reporting and to get involved in the seat. If the Greens pick badly, even I'm going to switch off, and I think many other people will switch off too.
If the Greens pick the wrong candidate, I think I'll probably switch off from this election a little bit. We'll report on it, but not with any enthusiasm, to be honest.
The Reform UK candidate, very quickly, let's talk about him, Matt Goodwin. He is standing for Reform. He's someone who is not from the area. He's been parachuted in. This is a flip-flopper who's changed his views over the years, like so many who are joining Reform. He obviously senses the way the wind's going and now wants to be, he wants to jump on the let's hate immigrants bandwagon and get to some electoral success. But, he's exposed himself. Here he is on GB News, basically showcasing that he's not necessarily about Britain first, but it's more like Israel first.
Politics, which puts Britain first, Not Pakistan, not Gaza, not any other foreign policy thing. Britain first.
Not Israel?
Well,
Not Israel? The media's just been talking about Israel and the IDF for the last 4 or 5 days. That's what they talk about. You wouldn't think that high streets in this country are on the, are on the way down, or public services aren't doing well, or people are struggling with their bills. I hear so much about Israel.
Is that a fair point?
well, my personal view is Israel is a very close ally. Well, until recently, was a very close ally of the United Kingdom. We should look after our allies.
So Israel first, all the way.
I mean, if you look at his Twitter, which I did yesterday, he's clearly an Islamophobe. He's got an obsession about Islam. He's basically, I mean, uses his words quite carefully. He's not a Tommy Robinson in that sense. But I think he said something, he came out with a tweet like, ban Sharia, ban the Muslim Brotherhood, ban this, ban that. He's always coming out with these polls about how Islam is not, compatible with British society. So obviously this guy's got an agenda and obsession with Islam. He didn't used to have that. He's changed his views.
Yes,
he was a centrist earlier on in his career. But, he's a GB News presenter, so that speaks for itself. Yeah. Are we going to talk about the Workers' Party a little bit?
Yeah, so the Workers' Party have a local candidate there. They're being lobbied to stand down and stop splitting the vote.
Because they can't win.
Yeah, they have a local candidate. And, what can I say? I mean, he is local. He is someone who was elected as a councillor in the area, so he commands some local respect. But unfortunately, he's with a party which I think has got no respect on the left, widely speaking. Galloway's been begging really for some kind of electoral pact. The Greens don't want anything to do with him. Corbyn doesn't want anything to do with him. According to Galloway, the Zara Sultana faction within the Your Party has basically asked him, can you just not contest this election because you're going to split the vote? And he said, well, I'm going to contest it. You should step down. And now that's what I'm saying. We've got a vote split situation, which, as we saw in other seats, has cost us MPs in the general election before, So a vote split, very nasty. But there's more going on here, Roshan. Do you want to?
Yeah, what I would say to brothers and sisters living in the constituency who have a right to vote is that even if you love the Workers' Party and George Galloway, they can't win. So if they can't win, what's the point in splitting the leftist vote and letting Reform UK or Labour in? Because that is the consequence of voting for them. But there's more to it than that. I mean, the Workers' Party, it's not worth the Muslim vote. They think they're entitled to the Muslim votes, and George Galloway certainly does. He thinks he owns the Muslim vote. But ultimately, this is a toxic leader. This is a person that, he says some great things on Palestine and great things on Islamophobia, but anyone that knows him doesn't stay with him that long, because once you get to know the guy, you know that this is more about him than the good of the Ummah, or even the good of Britain, I would say. And, he's someone who's used and abused our religion. He's pretended for many years to many people that he was a Muslim, and it turns out he's a cross-carrying Roman Catholic when he has to expose himself as such. I don't like people playing with my religion. His supporters seems to kind of think that he's the leader of some kind of cult organization. They're very aggressive. They're very rude. They, again, use religion, even though they're probably not the most practicing people themselves. They're very quick to takfir. They're very quick to calling you ISIS, especially over issues like Syria. What else, Robert? I mean, the guy just is not worthy of our vote. He's a socialist. I don't agree with socialism.
There was a crazy example that popped up recently. There's this guy, Usman Noor, who has
one of his candidates in Birmingham.
So this is the latest attack on 5 pillars. Not the first.
And me.
And you personally. And he was saying some insane stuff. Like, literally, this guy is unhinged.
So he's a representative of the Workers' Party. He's not just
they're
anybody.
retweeting him. He speaks for them at events. I mean, this guy was unhinged. Do you want me to play this out?
Yeah, play out a bit of it. It's unhinged, but play it out, yeah.
Hello, this is Usman Babir Noor. I read quite a sickening post today from Roshan M. Saleh, someone who is a leader of a campaigning organisation called 5 Pillars. He says that Muslims should not vote for George Galloway. I find that an atrocious statement relating to both Islam and a bad indictment on 5 Pillars themselves.
Stop there.
It is an arrogant statement.
I think it's worth think it's worth stopping this occasionally. I mean, first of all, this has got nothing to do with Islam. This is a political opinion, okay? And this guy subsequently accused me of not being a Muslim because I wasn't supporting George Galloway. So that is using and abusing our religion for political purposes, which I resent as a believing and practicing Muslim. No one should play with our deen. No one should make takfir because you don't support a particular candidate. You can disagree with someone politically and say you're stupid and you're wrong, but let's not make takfir. And no one should go around pretending to be a Muslim for years when they weren't, just so that they can get political advantage. Keep it going.
One that is based not on Islam, but based on their own ego. Islam, for those who understand it, is a religion that is for all of humanity. There is no doubt in my mind that George Galloway, despite not necessarily calling himself a Muslim, is a better Muslim than anyone in Five Pillars. He is a man who has stood up consistently throughout his life for the principles of truth, justice, and he's taken more punches and carried on fighting for those principles of truth and justice than any single person at Five Pillars.
Stop it there. Yeah, so basically what he's saying is that a non-Muslim, a cross-carrying non-Muslim, okay, that believes in the Trinity, believes Jesus is God or the Son of God, is better than a believing and practicing Muslim that bows down to Allah 5 times a day.
Yeah,
I mean, what is this guy on? Is he on drugs? What's he been smoking?
Yeah, he's an insane person. He's literally an insane person. I mean, he clearly doesn't know anything about Five Pillars. He just hates us for whatever reason. I mean, he called us some campaigning group.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like solid journalists, you know what I mean? A complete news organization.
Should we carry
for
on?
starters. And yeah, he just kept saying like no one at Five Pillars has done anything for Islam or for whatever. It's like, are you stupid? Are you seriously stupid? Every single day,
well, look,
we're living, breathing, helping Muslims.
Look, we don't need to
you know?
justify ourselves, Robert. And I have many, personally, I have many mistakes and many faults, but you don't make takfir of anybody. And I'm not going to make takfir of Brother Usman based on his erroneous political opinions. Carry it on.
Five Pillars, the first Shahada. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Learn the first pillar, the Shahada. Seems you've forgotten it. Roshan M. Saleh. You know nothing of Islam. If you dare say that George Galloway is a man that shouldn't be respected, he is a man that I respect. He is the leader of the Workers' Party, and no doubt in my mind that he is going to lead the Workers' Party to success. I am a Muslim, and I know the Shahada, and I know the other pillars also. I know them in my heart. I know them in my brain. I know that Allah is with us. I know that Allah is Mawjood, and he is acting through
Stop it there.
the party.
I mean, this is outrageous. Allah is with us. He is acting through the party. So basically what he's saying is that the Socialist Workers' Party, led by a cross-carrying Roman Catholic who believes Jesus is God, Allah is working. That is the vehicle for Islam. That is the vehicle for God. It's divinely. I mean, this stuff is illegal, right? I don't think you're supposed to actually say this stuff in like political campaign and say God is with us. I think that might even be illegal in this country. Gosh. I mean, I don't even say Allah is with Five Pillars. I hope Allah is with Five Pillars and backs us, but I'm not arrogant enough to say He is because I know that we are imperfect Muslims.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the arrogance of this guy, man?
Yeah, it's unhinged, isn't it? I mean, I did a report recently on a cult group in Crewe, and my goodness, they were actually more sane than this. I mean, this is
brothers and sisters. He's a representative of the Workers' Party. He's not any old bloke. Like literally, he chairs meetings for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so basically, what we're saying is that the Workers' Party is a cult, and George Galloway is their cult leader.
Well, according,
do they worship him or something, or should we?
This seems very close to that.
The visionary policies of the Workers' Party are what is going to unite all of us who are serving the party. So I'd ask them to bow down to Allah and respect George Galloway, respect the Workers' Party, and if you are true in the Shahada,
Stop it there.
then you will also support the Workers' Party.
Yeah, so, all right, bow down to Allah.
Scary, isn't it?
In one sentence, bow down to Allah and respect George Galloway. I mean, literally linking George Galloway to God.
It's crazy.
I mean,
it's so crazy.
Does it get any worse?
This is the problem when you sort of use a religion, especially one that you're not a part of, to try and stimulate support, which is what Galloway has been doing for a long time. I don't know if he ever was Muslim. Maybe he was once upon a time. He's definitely left now. He's made that clear.
No, he's said he's always been a Roman Catholic.
Okay, yes. I mean, what is this? I mean, is this the result of him sort of using the religion for his political benefit?
How can you trust someone like that, Robert? Someone who's basically led people to believe that he's a Muslim, and he's never been a Muslim. I mean, it comes down to an issue of trust and trustworthiness. And if he's going to get our vote and our backing, we have to trust the guy and feel like he's a straight up guy. You know, and that he could be a non-Muslim, no problem. I have no issue with George Galloway being a Roman Catholic. I just don't like the fact that he let people believe he's a Muslim for that long.
Yeah.
Because that's playing with our deen, and our deen is the most serious thing in our lives. We take it seriously. No one has the right to play with it.
This is very like Hindu, like, you know, Hindus, they worship like Trump pictures and they do weird stuff like that. Have you ever seen that in India?
Yeah.
They'll occasionally like
Yeah.
seduce
Modi and stuff like that.
stuff and Trump and Putin or whatever. I mean, this guy's basically doing the same thing.
How does he end this wonderful speech?
When we will defeat the Labour Party and we will defeat all those that stand against us, and then we will continue in our mission, the 10-point programme to end imperialism, end NATO, and stand up for a one-state Palestine.
Okay, so later on, this guy called me a kafir for not supporting George Galloway. He said I'm going to burn in hell and that I should repent, etc., etc. So, I mean, this is the Workers' Party, man. This is, I mean, if you want to vote for that, then this is what they are. You know, obviously George Galloway is a great talker. I mean, if he wanted to cuss me, he could have cussed me himself. I don't know why he has to use this guy if that's what he's done. You know, because I could see the guy's lips moving, but George Galloway's words coming out of his mouth, quite frankly. And I don't know. I mean, I think George Galloway would never say that kind of stuff because he's not a Muslim. So I personally think he got this guy to say it. If I'm wrong, then they should correct me.
Yeah, I mean, people will say, well, maybe this is just a one-off thing. Maybe the guy's like not well in the head. Maybe it's a one-off thing. But I mean, this wasn't the first time that the Workers' Party guys have attacked Five Pillars directly.
Yeah.
You know, in a very unhinged way. I mean, they've called us like
ISIS supporters.
I don't know what I can't remember what they said exactly, but they were linking us to like all sorts of
MI5.
groups.
Some of the acolytes were linking us to MI5, MI6.
Yeah, so
calling us ISIS supporters because of our position against Bashar al-Assad in Syria. Obviously, they support Bashar al-Assad.
And I think just trying to like they're saying that we're Taliban and stuff in a derogatory way, using like war on terror language.
Yeah,
that's what it is. So it's a so-called left-wing anti-NATO pipe, but they use war on terror language.
But it's worse than that. People are being arrested in this country, Robert, for supporting ISIS. It's illegal. So they're literally putting the spotlight on us.
Yeah,
they're literally putting us under the radar of the authorities, or encouraging the authorities to come towards us.
Yeah, this is
this is unforgivable stuff. This is unforgivable betrayal.
This is what the right does against Muslims as well. You know, it's war on terror language, and there's quite a few Muslims I think who have gone along with them in the last general election. They've left now, and they've even been attacked in some cases. Halima Khan. Someone who we
Jodie
know.
McIntyre is no longer with them, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of Muslims over there.
Roma Hassan.
Yeah, they've had to leave now, you know, and they've been criticized or attacked in some cases for leaving. So again, it's like, you know, when you leave a cult group, you get attacked a bit and they go after you and they make out that you're the bad one just because, you know, you dared to think outside the box. It's not right. This is not right. And I think Muslims have to grow up and get away from this.
There's one wider point, one concluding point I'd like to make. Leaving Galloway aside and whatever, all the issues that we have with Galloway and the Workers' Party, Muslims need to move on from George Galloway. And we need to be in the driving seat. We can't have people rocking up to our constituencies, pitching their tent and demanding our vote. Okay? We're the ones who choose who's going to represent us. And we need to be doing that across the country. in every constituency where we have a fighting chance of winning the vote or influencing the vote, we need to be picking our own candidates through a rigorous process where we assess them, and they could be Muslim or non-Muslim, okay? And we choose them. They don't demand our vote. And George Galloway thinks he owns the Muslim vote. Well, he doesn't own the Muslim vote. And we are no longer going to be tied to the coattails of others who rock up, say a few nice things about Palestine, say a few nice things about Muslims, and expect us to be so dumb to not see the wood for the trees and vote for them automatically. If you're going to get our vote, you're going to have to earn our vote from now on. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. We have another story here. It's the Somaliland stuff. Now, obviously, you know, everyone's aware of what Somaliland is doing. Politically, it's cozying up to Israel. Complete traitors, completely abandoned any semblance of respect or dignity, and they've sided with Israel. Now, there is another clip which went absolutely viral of Somalilanders in Toronto, Canada, filmed dancing with the Israeli consular general at some event, some friendship event. And as you can see, it follows in a long line of viral content of Somalilanders basically celebrating their new relationship with Israel. And people are just outraged. People are absolutely outraged. I mean, Somalia, it's one of those Muslim majority countries with such a great reputation for being pro-Palestine, anti-imperialist, anti-colonialist, Islamic, you know, believing in the religion and practicing the religion. And you just got this random Somaliland breakaway thing. And they're just going against the grain on every front. They're just traitors to Islam. They're traitors politically to the Ummah. And then clips like this, a lot of Somaliland trolls and accounts hitting back and saying, well, you know, where was the Ummah when we had some grievance? And it's like, I don't care what your grievance was. Now that you've done this, you don't have any right to complain. You know, I mean, you are a threat to the Ummah's safety and well-being. You know what I mean? You've abandoned the Palestinian cause, so who cares what issue you might have had historically? You know, you've surrendered that right once you signed up to Israel and all of the satanic forces that are destroying the Muslim world, you know? I
mean, a couple of things I want to say before we move on, perhaps, and that is that they're really rubbing our noses in it, aren't they? Not only have they normalized with genocidal stay against Palestinians. They're happy with
sin, aren't they?
They're happy about it, and they're dancing with Israelis, waving Israeli flags, but I have to say that I think a lot of this is orchestrated propaganda from probably a few hardcore activists and paid trolls affiliated to the leadership of Somaliland. And I think the majority of Somalilanders are probably against this, but they can't say much. Yeah, so we have to take that into account.
No, absolutely. But I mean, my goodness, there's a lot of
celebrations.
It's
disgusting. It's disgusting.
I mean, even in Somaliland itself, it's not in just diplomatic buildings.
Yeah, it's too many of them. Yeah.
I mean, there are so many Muslim countries that are normalizing. And in their diplomatic buildings and their government institutions, they'll celebrate it and welcome Israelis in. But you go to the streets and they're disgusted by it, you know?
Like Morocco.
But unfortunately, a lot of people in Somaliland itself were celebrating this. And that was very upsetting, I think. It's traumatized a lot of people. There were some Somalilanders in Birmingham, for goodness sake, out in the streets celebrating this. And Birmingham's a pro-Palestine
Too many of them have been celebrating.
So they've got some real gall on them. They've got a lot of nerve. And I think, you know, they genuinely think this is great. A lot of them. But as you rightly say, not all of them. Not all of them. Absolutely not. So we've got to put that into perspective. But yeah, this went viral. I think we've just got to keep naming and shaming, haven't we?
The one thing that I see from their troll comments online is, you know, we were massacred by this regime 30 years ago. Where was the Ummah then? And I mean, they may have legitimate grievances, but nothing I mean, you don't get what you want as an individual. You don't always get what you want in life. And as a nation, you don't always get what you want in life. Doesn't mean you go running to the devil and start worshipping Satan, you know? So that is complete nonsense, that argument. And, you know, if you bring it up, just say what I said to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's that story. Here's one. So Holocaust Memorial Day has come and it's been celebrated and platformed and pushed. Now, obviously, this is a pro-Israel Memorial Day for the Holocaust, and there's a lot of hypocrisy surrounding it. I mean, we posted about it on Facebook, just highlighting the fact that, you know, they say never again. That's the slogan of the day, never again. We cannot allow a genocide like the Holocaust to happen again. But a lot of the people saying that are the ones basically helping and facilitating and supporting a genocide in Gaza against human beings. I'm not even going to call them Palestinians today. I'm going to call them human beings. And it's happening again. And it will happen again and again and again because Israel has been doing it for decades, you know. It's all part of the Nakba. So, you know, a lot of people, I think, have realized this hypocrisy. And I mean, the comments were very damning. Never again, people are saying this has been happening for years now in the occupied West Bank and Gaza. And, you know, I think people are just sick to death of hearing this propaganda line from people who are doing genocide. They don't care. They don't care.
Yeah, so the main promoters of this Holocaust Memorial Day are actually the same people aiding and abetting the Gaza genocide and denying that it's even taking place. So it's just empty words, Robert. It's just, they're just frauds and liars. I mean, I don't mind the Holocaust being commemorated, you know, the Nazi Holocaust of the Jews. I believe it happened. And I believe Hitler had that agenda. Someone who studies the World War II era quite a lot, I believe that Hitler absolutely had that agenda. I believe that millions of Jews were killed for no reason other than they were Jews. But at the same time, it isn't the only genocide that's ever happened. You know, I mean, the genocide of the American Indians, the African Americans, sorry, was actually, in terms of number, I think that was much more than the genocide of the Jews in World War II. But you don't see the same kind of focus on it. You know, the Hollywood movies, the documentaries, the constant propaganda. And it's obvious why. It's because the Holocaust has been used and abused by Jewish Zionists and non-Jewish Zionists as a propaganda tool for Israel. And, you know, to basically shield Israel from any criticism whatsoever, to label all their opponents anti-Semitic. So it's been used and abused. If you read the Holocaust Industry book by Finkelstein, what's his first name? Norman Finkelstein. It just shows how the Holocaust, which did happen, has been exploited by Zionists to create Israel, to shield Israel from any criticism, but also to shake down many European countries for money as well. So it's full of hypocrisy, full of lies, and I think unless you commemorate all genocides and make a sincere commitment to it never happening again, you know, if they did that, then I wouldn't mind even commemorating it myself. But at the moment, it's an event full of hypocrisy, full of lies, full of frauds. I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could be against all genocide, do you know what I mean? But yeah, we're just, it seems like there's one genocide that's okay and worth defending, and then another genocide you condemn. It just doesn't make sense to me. That's why it's just total hypocrisy.
Unfortunately, Robert, look, the reality is that the children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren of Jews who were massacred in the World War II Nazi genocide are now committing the same genocide in Palestine.
Yeah, some of them are speaking out against it. Obviously, there's a lot of Holocaust descendants of Holocaust survivors who are pro-Palestine, and they make it very clear.
Not enough, Robert. Not enough.
No, absolutely. But the ones that are, the honourable few, they've made very clear. They're like, I can't believe we're allowing what's going on in Gaza to happen after everything that's happened historically. Have we not learned any lessons? And
it's so similar, isn't it? The kind of, you know, mass starvation of a people, herding into concentration camps, indiscriminate killing. It's so similar in every way to the Nazi genocide. At the moment, the numbers are less, but I think given if Israel has its way, the numbers will be more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, they've been trying their best to get away with it. I mean, they stopped journalists from going in and all that type of stuff. But obviously, it's different now. We've got social media, and that's the only thing really that's maybe held them back a bit.
I would say there's actually more proof of what's happened, the genocide in Gaza, because we're getting it every day on our mobile phones, than there was of the Nazi genocide. I believe the Nazi genocide happened, but in terms of documentation, proof, paperwork, etc., the Gaza genocide is much more of a genocide.
It's the most well-documented genocide in human history. I mean, it's the most documented one out of all of them.
Yeah.
And it's a horrific one. It's one of the most bloody ones. Well, we do have another story here, a local UK one. An Islamophobic march organised by UKIP, which is a far-right political organisation, was banned in East London. It's the second time that the group and their march has been banned, because basically they were hoping to march through a Muslim majority area in East London, and in clear incitement as well. The authorities and the police were very concerned about it. Only this time the right wing has complained heavily about this protest being banned because it was a religious march for Jesus or something like that. That's how they had named it. So they were saying it's a religious Christian march in London, and the authorities have banned it because Muslims are taking over.
Yeah.
That was the line. When in reality, UKIP is a very far-right, very racist organisation. There's no doubt about that. And its leadership hate Muslims.
Yeah.
They hate Islam. They incite. They are very insightful against Muslims as well. And the reason they're targeting Tower Hamlets is because it's a Muslim area.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. And, you know, there's thuggish types, nasty types that are associated to this group. And they're just up to no good. They're shit stirrers, absolute shit stirrers.
Yeah. So I mean,
speaking.
what struck me about this is obviously, for once, the Metropolitan Police took the right decision. They banned the march in Tower Hamlets, a heavily Muslim area, just like they would if Nazis wanted to march through Golders Green, you know, a Jewish area of London. It's logical.
They don't even allow pro-Palestine marches to march in, say, Jewish areas.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And pro-Palestine marches are peaceful.
But all the right-wing nutters like GB News and Talk TV and many others, they were saying, oh, this Christian march has been banned through a part of our country. You know, obviously, because they're a bunch of liars, omitting all the context and the detail. And whenever I asked them that question, would you allow Nazis to march through Golders Green? Would you be blaming Jews who reacted to that? And they never answered it. But, you know, I actually said, look, all right, if you feel that strongly about it, let this march take place. As long as the law is consistent, you allowed Nazis to march through Golders Green, and if any Jew interrupts that march, you blame the Jews for it.
And some might turn around and go, oh, you're smearing us as Nazis, we're just concerned citizens. Well, here is the leader of UKIP, who is literally doing Nazi salutes at a protest, and he thinks it's hilarious. He perhaps means it. I mean, this is someone who has called for like a crusade. He believes that Muslims are hiding weapons under mosques or their homes, and that Muslims need to be mass exported. He'd like to see mosques made illegal. He's incited outside a mosque in the Lake District recently and has harassed builders, non-Muslims who are working there, just doing their job. So this is someone who, for example, would support right-wing attacks on the UK. So like Elon Musk, who calls for regime change, Nick Tenconi, foreign-sounding name, by the way, a so-called patriot of this country.
Sounds Italian or something.
Yeah, something like that. He would support Elon Musk in that, I bet. He's spoken on those lines. Do you know what I mean? So these guys are not patriots. They don't care for this country. He's not even from this country originally, if you look at his family name. And he's just trying to grift. He's just trying to raise his profile through hate and division. And he's a nasty, nasty, nasty little dweeb who has a pathetic little following of hateful individuals and ignorant bigots.
Robert.
And he's trying to incite. And then they complain about it. But it's totally manipulated, isn't it? It's totally manipulated by the media.
Robert, because time is short, should we move on to the next story, or do you want to play this out?
We have...
UpScroll, is it UpScroll?
Yeah, we don't have much...
Should we just go do the UpScroll, and then we'll go to the comments? I have to leave in 10 minutes. I'm sorry about this.
Yeah, so UpScroll, let's see.
So basically, brothers and sisters, I'll talk through this one. There's this social media company run by a Palestinian Australian called Issam Hijazi, called UpScrolled, and it is blowing up big time, especially since TikTok changed its terms of reference, and I think it's owned by, or partially owned by, a Zionist billionaire who's openly admitted that they have Zionist groups monitoring content, and if you say something like Zionist in a pejorative way, then you're going to get censored on TikTok. So literally tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, perhaps more people are leaving TikTok and going on to UpScroll. I've created my own account on UpScroll. I'm sure, Robert, you will soon. 5 Pillars will have an account on there soon. I think social media companies, big tech in the West, have treated Muslim customers with contempt. Either we get blatantly censored, or we have to exist on platforms like X, where we get mercilessly trolled by racists and Islamophobes in the most disgusting way. Those are our two options, you know, if we want to have a voice on social media. So I've always said that the man or the woman who creates a viable Muslim social media platform where we can have freedom of speech for Muslims and non-Muslims is going to be a hero to the Ummah. And I pray that Issam Ijazi is that man. I'm not sure, but all I know is that loads of people are going on there and they're saying Israel has no right to exist, and they're not getting censored, you know, and lots of pro-Palestinians on there. I encourage you to create an account, start UpScrolling or whatever the term is on there. Let's start having a conversation. Maybe it's a space where we can all talk to each other without being censored, without being harassed and trolled, etc., etc.
Nice, nice. Yeah, inshallah, let's see how it goes. I wish you all the best. And yeah, it's about time because, yeah, you know, the Islamophobia industry has just wrapped its claws around all social media, you know. They hate free speech and it's very Israel-backed, you know. I mean, the whole issue of censorship has been Israel-led from the very beginning. So obviously, you know, we've got to combat it, and hopefully this will be the way. Hopefully,
do you want to say a few things about Umar Khalid before we get to the comments? I'll let you talk about this.
Yeah, let me bring it up.
It'd be unfortunate if we didn't mention this brother.
So yeah, one of the Palestine Action-linked activists has ended his hunger and thirst strike due to his failing health. Mohammed Khalid was one of the last, or the last, hunger striker known as the Prisoners for Palestine group. He ended his hunger strike because basically it was killing him. It was in a very bad situation at the time, and doctors were saying that, you know, he won't last more than a couple of days if he carries on at this rate. So he has pulled back. However, the group has already claimed success as a result of their hunger strike and now this thirst strike. They're complaining about things like obviously their treatment whilst in detention. The story has become very politicized, and there are accusations that they're being mistreated whilst in custody, that they should be on bail really, but they've been denied that for political reasons, and that they've been denied proper access to like family and visitors and all this type of stuff. So there's a lot of accusations going around. Obviously we've got to be careful what we say on that because the prison services deny it, but I think people looking at this are outraged at the treatment of these prisoners. They're outraged at the fact that they're considered terrorists by people, and they've been called terrorists by security guards and stuff, when in reality these are young people who don't want to see women and children get massacred in Gaza. You know, that's the bottom end of it, you know. So the actions that they did is to try and save lives. It's not because they want to kill people, and they haven't killed anyone, you know what I mean? So, you know, these are apparently terrorists, but I mean, Israel's killed a whole bunch of innocent people. They're an ally and friend of Britain, but then these kids are the terrorists apparently, and they haven't harmed a fly. So yeah, obviously this is an ongoing story. They have had a lot of support and protests outside the prison systems where they're being kept, but obviously we have to wait and see the result of their trial. It's a heavily politicized trial, and a lot of people believe that they will be essentially persecuted by the state, given lengthy jail terms. We have to wait and see, but there is a long legal battle going on to try and get them free, or at least get them on bail before their trial day, because, you know, they're just they're arguing they're not a threat to anyone. They just want to spend some time with their family, and, you know, until their day is on trial, then just let him take it easy a bit. May
Allah give the brother shifa and reward him for his bravery.
Do we have time for comments?
Yeah, let's take a few. Yeah, I've got 5 minutes, inshallah.
Okay, so we got a comment from Jalal. The Zionist lobby in the UK has benefited of 80 years of a head start, and they are everywhere in government, in the banking system, the IT security, media, and so on. Anti-Zionists have only one thing on their side, and that is the majority of people in the UK are anti-Zionist, so they basically run the streets. Only public unity, similar to partisan movement of Yugoslavia and Italy, I don't know about that, between 1940 to 1945 can defeat the Zionist lobby. So basically, you know, our strength is on the streets, and we have to show unity and solidarity with that. This is in response to our talk of the Zionist lobby.
I agree. I agree. I think it's a good comment. public opinion in this country is definitely pro-Palestine, whereas the Zionists have the levers over the media and the government. Yeah, I think that needs to change in the years to come.
As someone who's watched football since a kid and loved playing the game, it is merely that, a game, bread and circus. Now, this is in response to the fight between
Senegal, Morocco
and Senegal. You know, it turns out that Senegal might have been using black magic. Did you hear that?
No.
They were using black magic. That's what they said. That beef over the towel might have been because they had some voodoo or whatever.
Is that Moroccan propaganda?
I don't know, but I mean, it's. I mean, if they are doing black magic, I mean, that would give me the spooks.
I don't know,
I
but
think I
it's
would
like,
have a fight over it. But yeah, it was an outrageous game. Fights and pitch invasions, a fight over a towel, accusations of cheating, unsportsmanlike attitude of people walking off the pitch. It was crazy.
It was wild. It was wild.
It was crazy.
Yeah, all I would say, I mean, I'm a football fan as well. I always have been in my life and used to play it a lot and obsessively watched it. And obviously in recent years, I've cut down on that a lot, but I've been a Liverpool fan all my life. So it's not coming from what I said last week about it's just a stupid game. It's not coming from someone who doesn't know about football. I do know about football, but it's just about getting things in perspective in life. And I just don't understand how anyone can be obsessive about football, spend money on football. You know, you go into a Premier League match, you're spending at least £100, right? That is such a waste of money, you know, especially if you do it, you know, if you do it on one-off, all right, fine. But people that do it all the time, where's your money going? You could be spending that on your family, or you could be spending it on learning Arabic or something else, right? Something to relate to the deen. So yeah, just get your perspective and your priorities straight, brothers and sisters.
This one says, Shabana Mahmood, Suella Braverman, Priti Patel, something is so familiar about each of these Home Secretaries, their cruelty in policies. Are we allowed to criticise policies as being cruel, or will they knock on our doors now and ruin our lives?
Have you noticed how the most right-wing people in this country end up being brown people? You know, the brown sellouts I'm talking about, the Shabana Mahmoods and Suella Bravermans, Priti Patels. I'd rather have a white non-Muslim in there. It might be go a bit easier on us. I think it's like they've got an inferiority complex and they want to prove to the white man how right-wing or how British and patriotic they can be, because they're obviously at a disadvantage because of their skin colour.
Yeah, well, it's...
Who knows?
Yeah, they're useful idiots for the far right and for bigots in this country, aren't they? I mean, they're saying what they once said, but obviously you can't call them racist or anything like that because obviously of their heritage.
Every single one of them has benefited from immigration in their lives in every single way, and they want to pull up the trapdoors and keep all the immigrants out. It's just so hypocritical and disgusting.
Absolutely. Well, I think that'll do us for this week. Yeah, absolutely. Well, brothers and sisters, thank you very much for viewing the show. Please leave your comments in the comments section. We're going to be making a special effort to react to them every single week, inshallah. And as we approach the holy month of Ramadan, do keep us in your du'as as well. And there will be a lot of unique content coming up for that holy month. So stay tuned and you will see, inshallah.
One thing from me as well is that, and this is again, it's a test to see whether you've watched right till the end and not just watched, 4 minutes at the beginning. We are thinking of perhaps doing an event, a live event in Manchester, maybe a week before the Gorton and Denton by-election. So probably it'll be in Ramadan. Maybe a week before, maybe, I don't know, what date would that be? Kind of the 10th of February or something?
Something like that. So basically, we need to go up there, see what's happening, get involved, see how the Muslim community is going to go, give our views and give you guys a chance in the area to speak out about this as well in a platform which is uncensored. So it's quite an exciting event, but we just want to make sure that we do it right.
And would you be up for it? I mean,
would you be up for it?
Who should Muslims vote for in the by-election? And just let us know, brothers and sisters, especially if you're from Manchester, would you come to an event like that?
Yeah,
would you be up for it? Would you be excited by it, etc.? And if the comments are positive, we might do it.
I think people want to know what Rob's got to say about this by-election. Do you know what I mean?
Kingmaker
I
Rob.
think they're waiting for it. They're waiting for it. And I think, someone actually said, "Why don't you run?" And I said, "Do you know what? Not this time.
Your wife."
Not this time.
Your wife and your mum.
Roshan couldn't do without me. That's what I said. I said, Roshan's
I don't think we should. Any of us should go into politics. You know why? I think personally, a Muslim with a high degree of iman, a believing practicing Muslim, should not sully themselves with Westminster because it's dirty. And if you're going to go there, you're going to get forced into compromises. You're going to get pressure from this side, the other. I just think that if you're a Muslim with a high degree of iman, you should stay well clear of politics, full stop. Also, I think there are not many Muslim journalists in the world, let alone in the UK, but practicing, believing in Muslim journalists. I think we are one of the few. Inshallah, in future generations, there'll be dozens, there'll be thousands, there'll be millions. But for the moment, there are not many Muslim journalists. So I think if any of us step away from this arena, it'll be a massive loss to the Ummah. I honestly believe that.
What do you think, brothers and sisters? Should Robert Carter make the plunge? Should I go in and drain the swamp? Fix Westminster
I tell you
and all
what,
the ills
if
of
you
this
run-
country? I think it's time.
If you run-
I think it's time.
If you run, I'll vote for George Galloway. On that note.
Do you know what? If everyone's going to split the vote, let me split it good and proper the Robert Carter way.
All right.
So what do you think, brothers and sisters? Should I run? Well, there we go. Another fantastic episode of Muslims Uncensored for sure. And let us know if you want to see us up there in the by-election as well, inshallah. Well, take care. See you next time. Assalamu alaikum for now.
Assalamu alaikum.